All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of Bros Who Close.
Boom.
So, today's a very special episode. We're going to talk about generating online leads, but not just online leads, generating quality online leads. I know if people are watching, they're probably doing some sort of online lead generation,
Yep.
and you're probably frustrated and wondering, well, my leads are telling me they're not interested, or they're tire kicker, or they're
Or they got Pizza's phone number.
pizza phone number. I've had those, right? Or it's just a
Or if you're watching in
no-name
the States, Domino's Pizza's phone number.
Domino's Pizzas. You're getting wrong phone numbers, fake phone numbers, people hanging up on you. So a lot of people I talk to, they've pretty much almost given up on online lead generation,
Yep.
right? And
The ones that don't know how to convert.
the ones that don't know how to convert, right?
Yes.
There's different elements to online lead generation. And in this episode, I'm going to talk about how to actually generate quality online leads that actually want to do business with you.
100%. And I remember, we'll kind of start with a quick story. I remember when I first started in the business back in 2015, I didn't really have a big network of people that I had a network of people, but it wasn't, I thought that I'll sell a few homes and then I'll kind of run out of my network of people. And that's exactly what happened. Even though my sphere was really good, I was reaching out to the sphere, I was getting referrals, I was selling them homes, but I just knew at some point the sphere is going to run out and I'm going to have to go outside. So I made a very conscious decision from day one that I was going to subscribe to online lead gen. And back in 2015, from just a decade ago, really, the game online lead generation is completely transformed. So back then, my very first lead generation company, I hired a marketing agency who were selling X amount of leads for X amount of dollars. I think I was paying like $1,000 or something like that and they were guaranteeing like 60 or 70 leads. And I went through the same frustration. Is they would just generate the lead, they would send it to me. A lot of the numbers were incorrect. However, I slowly started creating a system. I was successful at it, but it just took a lot of effort to convert even one lead. I remember one of the first leads that I converted. I've shared the story before. I called them 17 times before I converted them. So again, the game's and now if I look at it, how we generate leads now. We're not calling anywhere near 19 times.
Yeah. So this is an important distinction that I want to make, right? Like the way we do lead gen now is the traditional way that people do online lead generation. By the way, just to be very clear, we're talking about paid online leads. I'm not talking about Instagram leads or Facebook, leads that are coming in organically online. That's a whole different topic we'll cover another day. But today we're talking about paid online leads. The reason I love paid online leads is, I remember back in the day when we used to cold call. We're cold calling for, 5, 6, 7 hours a day. My background has been just in cold calling. And the one thing I noticed was that when I would talk to 100 people, yes, I would absolutely convert because when you're just playing a numbers game, you do end up converting. The problem is now you're trading a lot of time for money, right? And now you are using that time to make dials, but not using a whole lot of time being in front of people or being in front of the right people or taking time to go show homes. So I changed my perspective around it. I go, how can I leverage my time by spending money and having predictability in the business? And the agents that are doing this the right way are really leveraging the right resources, the right tools to get in front of the right people by spending money. So the reason why most agents suck at online lead generation is because they're not doing lead generation right when it comes to paid leads. They'll throw up an ad on Facebook or Instagram. I see it every single day. And they'll go, download my list of homes, right? And the thing is, people are tired and
And smart.
and
really.
people are smart now.
Yeah,
They've seen it over and over again.
It is, right? Like, I think what people are doing ultimately is, we talk about framework now quite a bit, right? Like, there's a framework within our business that we follow. There's framework within lead generation that we follow. And there's framework within conversion that we follow. So I think everything has to be within a framework. And if you've corrected and if you've dominated that framework of online lead generation, it really is not that hard to convert leads.
Yeah, it's not hard at all. And honestly, it's actually a lot easier than people think. But you need to have the right framework because without that framework, you're just going to run in circles, right? People think, oh, I'll pay money and I'll generate leads and I'll call them. That's the wrong way of doing online lead generation. You need to have a proper system, a proper framework to do it, right? So,
and to your point from earlier also is like, if you're throwing up, oh, buy with me or sell with me, honestly, nobody cares.
Yeah.
We're in a very value-driven
Marketplace.
right now, where it's like before you even reach out to people, like, hey, what have you done for me? Right? So, what have you done for me? Like, why should I even click on your ad? Why should I give you my correct phone number
Yeah.
or my correct email address? You're just one of a sea of agents out there who's like, well, buy with me. Why should I really care?
Yeah, and it's funny because when you're scrolling through Instagram, Facebook, you see a lot of ads, right? And I know I do this. When I'm scrolling through Instagram, I'll see something that piques my interest and I'll click on it, I'll submit a form, and I might get a call, the same day or the next day, and I'll be like, okay, yeah, I signed up and I'm not really interested, right? And that's what most people do. And that's what the traditional way of doing things is. You fill out a form and you expect that you're going to get business.
Yeah.
Do you think if you were looking at an ad and you click on it at the moment that you're just ready to buy? Probably not,
No.
right? And what people need to understand is that online world is no different than the real world, right? If you have a room full of 100 people, you're not going to have everyone buy from you. Yes, you're going to have a lot of people who submit a form, who inquire, but there's conversion rates in every single thing that you do, whether it's the people that you know in your phone book or whether it's online leads. Again, going back, you just need to have the right framework.
Yes.
There's a top of funnel and a bottom of funnel, right? Without getting too technical, you have a lot of people coming in, and then that funnel keeps getting smaller, and then at the end, you have a certain amount of people who are ready to buy. The question is, how do you get to those people?
That's right.
Right?
And people are always chasing those people at the bottom.
Yeah, exactly.
And the thing is, one of our mentors really described it well. He's like at the top of the funnel, like imagine a funnel like this. At the top, you don't even know that you have a problem.
Yeah.
So when it comes to house hunting, you don't even know that you're looking for a house. But then if that's when you enter into our atmosphere
Yeah.
within that framework, then like, okay, now at dinner table over Christmas or over New Year's or a life change happens. You're pregnant. You come into money or whatever life changes you go through. That's when you really start thinking about a house. Like,
Yeah.
oh, but this agent has been giving me so much value
Yeah.
for the past 6 months, and that's when they realize, like, you know what, I'm going to start my home hunting process.
Yeah.
They're still not at the bottom, and at the bottom truly is at the top. They don't even realize that they want to buy a house.
Yeah.
And at the bottom is like, I need to buy a house today.
Yes, very good point. So this is something that I call the 3% rule. Well, I don't call it. It's actually a principle called the 3% rule. It's big in the branding world. So there's a book called Sticky Branding. I forget the author now, but I have a whole video on sticky branding and the 3% rule. The 3% rule is that in any market across the world, regardless of industry, regardless of products, there's 3% of people who are actively looking to buy or make a decision today, right? Who are ready to buy a house, who are ready to buy a laptop, who are ready to buy a car. Then there's the 97% of people who are kind of in that top of funnel, right? You have, in that 97%, you have two other categories. People who are not aware they have a problem, and then you have people who are aware they have a problem, but just there's no urgency. And then there's people that are on the fence. So that 97% is this ocean of people that you can target. But most people, like most agents and most entrepreneurs, they try to go after that 3%, and
right.
everyone's fighting over that 3%. And what you probably don't realize is the 3% that are looking to buy or sell right now, they're already working with somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
So now you're chasing and you're going after somebody as a total stranger, after somebody who is already in the market. So how do you really expect to win over that person? So what you really need to target is the top 97%, which nobody goes after. And that, to Sarb's point, you have to be value driven in this marketplace and really nurture those people so that when they are at that 3%, the only choice is you.
Yes, exactly. And here, there's nothing to say around, like, we've been doing this now a while.
Yeah.
Like I truly feel as a team now we've now almost, because there's always room to grow and always room to learn, we've almost perfected that system around giving value and nurturing people throughout their journey of getting into real estate. However, if you're just, to your point, if you're just focused on that bottom 3%, you're always going to be frustrated.
Yep.
Because very few people will transact. However, if you focus on the top of
Yeah.
the chain where people don't even realize that they want to buy a house at this point, you're still going to get some people
Yes.
at that point that are ready to buy immediately.
Yeah, you're definitely going to get low-hanging fruit. Don't get me wrong, every now and then. But if all you're chasing is that bottom 3%, no wonder people are frustrated and they go, online leads don't work, they suck, this and that. What people need to realize with online lead generation, paid lead generation, is that online lead generation is a strategy, and it's a long-term strategy. It's not something like, okay, my pipeline's dry, I'm going to run some ads and I'm going to do business. That's not how this works. If you're going to run online paid ads, you really need to be in it for the long term.
Yes.
We have people in the database that we've been nurturing for 5 years,
Oh, yeah.
maybe even longer.
We converted, last year, one of our team members converted a person that we've been not providing value. And this is, listen to the words, really providing value for the last 3 years. And it was probably one of the easiest sale my team member made.
Yeah.
And I got the call. I, gave it to our team member, and they bought a house within 2 weeks.
Wow.
And here's the thing. To the team member, it was like, oh my God, that was the easiest sale of my life. And I was like, yes, it was the easiest sale of life. What you didn't realize is they've been getting value from the team for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
So it's not been 15 days in the making. It's been 3 years and 15 days in the making.
So true. And look, we're not saying if you run online lead generation and paid leads that you have to wait 3 years to do it.
Yeah.
Everyone's in a different cycle in that 97th percentile, right? You're going to get the people who are ready to transact now, and you're going to have people that are going to be ready to transact later. What's important is when you start with online paid lead ads the right way with the right framework and the right strategy, you're building your pipeline for the future, right? And you're slowly building this momentum, and then you're constantly going to have leads funneling in that you have repeat, consistent, predictable business week after week, month after month. And again, that starts with value. So what do we mean by value? Or if you're an agent right now who's running a list of homes, I would say get rid of that ad right away because it's not going to work. You're most likely going to get a tire kicker, leads. And let's be honest, your list of homes is not special. Okay, people have very powerful tools at their disposal now. That's way better than your shitty IDX website. Okay, they've got House Sigma, Realtor.com. There's listings.ca. There's crazy websites out there that I use myself. I don't even use our board provided, listing service.
And there's teams out there that specifically only generate exclusive lists, including us.
Yeah.
We have a massive database of exclusive listings that we promote to within our database, and that's how we provide value to them.
Yeah, and look, you're not going to get, you can send those lists once you've already gathered these leads, but the reality is that nobody really cares about a list because they can get a list on their own.
That's right.
And they can go on, we're in Canada. In Canada, they have House Sigma, and House Sigma will give you instant report on sold data, new data, values, even though the values are not accurate. But the thing is, the resources and tools are there.
Yeah, and if in the U.S., if you're really Realtor.com and there are a bunch of other websites.
Zillow,
do the exact same thing. Again, those websites are number one for a reason because they're also value driven.
Yep.
Right?
Exactly.
They're giving you a lot of data for free.
For free. And, they're really brokerages that have agents, which is a really smart business model. But you guys get the idea, right? So you don't want to run ads that just provide a list of homes. So what do you provide? Because with a list of homes, you're assuming that somebody's going to get a list and they're going to buy with you right away. So you need to get out of that mindset and really focus on value-driven, lead magnets is what we call, right? So what's a lead magnet? A lead magnet is where you can provide something for free in exchange for information and also at the same time have authority as a realtor, right? So if you want a very easy, simple way to start generating online paid leads today, all you have to do is go to ChatGPT and type in, hey, I'm a real estate agent in X city in this country, and this is the kind of people I serve. This is the kind of client I serve. And I want to make a lead magnet and provide a free ebook on how to sell your home for top dollar in 30 days or less. ChatGPT will create this
themselves. Yeah.
Yes, how to sell a home yourself, and ChatGPT will provide this entire booklet for you. Then you tell ChatGPT, hey, make this into a PDF. Put it in a PDF. Go to Canva, make a front page of your logo, and so you can put a book cover on it, and then offer that on Facebook and Instagram ads as a lead magnet saying, hey guys, I've made this free course, this free book on how to sell a home yourself. And now people will click on that. Again, top of funnel, the 97%. They're going to click on it. They're going to exchange information with your contact information. And then you're going to take those same leads and you're going to start retargeting them through Facebook retargeting and show videos to them of who you are. And then slowly nurture them. And then they will reach out to you as an expert and buy.
Yeah.
That's
and
the
now you've
easiest way.
accomplished a couple of things, right? You've accomplished something that's like, what do most people want? If at the time that they're browsing, they see your ad, well, they want to know how to go about either buying or selling a home, right? And then now you're providing value of like, hey, how do you buy your home without an agent? Or how do you go about selling your home without an agent? Listen, guys, the reality is, if you're a mechanic And if I have a mechanical problem in my car,
Yeah.
I can watch a million videos on how to do something, how to change my oil, how to change my brake pads. Now, is there a percentage of people that'll go about and execute on that idea?
Yeah.
Great.
But those guys were going to do it anyway.
They were going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
They're just looking for that resource. 97%, it's the same 3% rule. 97% of those people
Yeah.
are never going to try to sell their home themselves,
Yeah.
especially if they know what's exactly involved in selling the house. However, you've given them an amazing, valuable tool
Yeah.
on the process of selling your home. So now you've not only given them something of value, you've now created a very educated seller.
You've empowered the seller on how to do something on their own, and therefore you now become this authority figure for that person. And so now when they think about selling the home, be like, you know what, I got this this ebook from Sarab, this realtor that's in my inbox all the time, and he teaches people how to sell their own home. I'm going to reach out to him because in their eyes, he's a teacher.
Yeah.
Right? You're like a professor of real estate. You know what I mean? So that's an example of an easy lead magnet. You want another one, you can tell people, you know, I always think of it this way. People are more motivated by a loss than and fear of loss than gain, right? So you can put a lead magnet that says, hey, how to save $50,000 or more by avoiding these 4 mistakes when buying a home.
Yeah.
So now everybody wants a good deal, but people want to save, people want to make sure they don't lose money, right, when they're doing a transaction. That's a great lead magnet. And all you're doing is the stuff you talk to your clients about anyway. Again, go to ChatGPT, create that outline. You want to do it in videos, you can do it in video modules. If you want to do it in PDF or, you know, in write-ups, you could do it that way. All you're doing is you're providing and leading with value. And then at the back, you're retargeting these people and nurturing them in your emails.
Yeah, and when you mention retargeting, all you're really doing is you already have these people. I'm sure you guys have seen some ads and you're like, oh my God, I keep seeing this ad
Yeah.
over and over and over again. Like this guy must be spending millions
Yeah.
of dollars on advertising. And that's what we truly mean by retargeting, because these people have already either seen your ad or clicked on the ad. And now the Facebook or Instagram algorithm, all
Yeah.
they're doing is just they keep showing that similar ad to the same person over and over and over again.
Yep.
And you'd be surprised to see it actually builds authority.
Yep.
And it builds rapport with that certain person because,
Yeah.
again, you're just an authoritative figure. Like, oh my God, like these guys are just killing it in terms of
Yeah.
providing this kind of valuable information to masses of people.
And retargeting is so cheap because now Facebook already has your audience profile. All you're doing is you're giving them that custom list of people. And, you know, the retargeting that we do, we spend like $2 a day on the retargeting on specific campaigns. It's dirt cheap. It's cheaper than actually getting a new lead. And you're just retargeting these people over and over again. And to Sorb's point, you're like a walking billboard everywhere. They see you, like people spend 90%, like most of their time on their phone every day, scrolling through Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. And now that they see you everywhere, you're omnipresent and you become this authority figure in their head. I always related to this movie I saw called Focus with Will Smith and Margot Robbie, this movie where he's kind of like a magician or a con man almost. And there's a scene in that movie where they're trying to put something in this guy's brain who's walking to a stadium to make a bet. And they put this number 55 all over the place and he keeps seeing it subconsciously, and when he makes the bet on the number 55, right? It's the same principle. You're subconsciously embedded in that prospect's mind as this authority figure, and then when you finally call them, you'd be surprised when we go on calls and videos meetings with our clients, brand new prospects who we've never met, who by the way book appointments in our calendar. We don't chase them. First thing they go is, oh my God, I've seen your videos everywhere.
Yeah.
Like you're everywhere. And all we're doing is just retargeting the same people by leveraging the tools that are already available to you.
Yeah. So the first step is the lead magnet itself, right? Like, so you get the lead because you're providing something of value. So you're exchanging, right? You're exchanging what you have of value, being, you know, the seller's guide or the buyer's guide or the top 4 mistakes to avoid, you know, when you go to, buying or selling your home. And then what happens is then think of it almost like then they're in your atmosphere of value-driven, you know, content they're going to constantly provide to them. Now that could come in via, you know, your monthly newsletters. That could come via, you know, text and email drips, very specifically catered text and email drips.
Yeah.
And on how you go ahead and then keep nurturing those leads. Some of our campaigns are like
8 years long.
8 years long.
Yeah.
Because again, the cycle of people trying to buy a home online is I'm ready now.
Yeah.
To I'm ready, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8 years from now.
I don't know when I'm ready,
Yeah.
but that could change at any time.
And
as
the
long as
funny
you're top
thing
of mind.
is, you'd be surprised. people, even if they don't transact with you,
Yeah.
they will refer somebody
100%.
else
Yeah.
to transact with you.
And they'll transact with you. They'll refer you people because of all the steps that you've taken to nurture them, and you being the person that they think of when it comes to, doing real estate business with.
Yeah.
Right? So lots of ways you can leverage right off the gate. And what's cool is nowadays you don't have to hire somebody to make a lead magnet.
No.
Right? You don't have to hire somebody to make a book. You can go on ChatGPT and have them make a book for you, and then offer that as a PDF, as a lead magnet, attract the lead, and then spend $1.50 to $2 a day to retarget that same lead and being top of mind. And then once they fill out the form, send them to a landing page that's a thank you page with a video of you saying, hey, thank you for signing up. I'm sending the book right to your email. By the way, my name is Sid. If you get a 416-647 text message or phone call from me, just know that's me. If it's unknown, I'm just going to reach out to make sure you got it. Because now you're doing two things. A, they are seeing your face and who you are. Mm-hmm. And number two, it's setting some sort of expectation. Hey, I may reach out to you, right? So now they're not surprised when you call them. And when you call them, they're like, oh, yeah, you're that guy from the video. I keep seeing you everywhere, right? When you do eventually call them. So it's very powerful stuff, what you can do with just easy retargeting and the right strategy and framework.
Yeah, and the right messaging. Which is the framework, really.
Yeah. Awesome, guys.
Okay,
so
it's a great episode. Actually, I could have kept going on and on because there's so much that we can, and we should maybe do more episodes around these lines. I know we talked that we're going to do around like if there's agents out there that still want to call and generate organic leads. I think we'll do an episode on organic leads.
I think the next episode we can do on this gold mine lead generation strategy we have. If you're somebody that likes to be on the phones, we're going to teach you one technique that can easily get you at least, at the bare minimum, one extra deal in less than a week. I don't know if they're ready for this one.
I think I could probably tell. I have so much confidence that if somebody were to really get on the phone with this strategy, I'm pretty sure they can generate a listing in a day.
Brand new or experienced, this is something that is absolute goldmine, and I can't believe no one's doing it. So make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for that.
Yeah. And then also just let us know in the comments below, like if there's anything else that you wanna, you want us to talk about, any other strategies in terms of lead generation or otherwise, or any aspect of the real estate business you want to talk to us about, or you want us to talk about. Please let us know in the comment below.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we are Bros Who Close. Where can they find us?
So you can find us on Instagram, Bros Who Close, TikTok, Bros Who Close, YouTube, Bros Who Close, Facebook, Bros Who Close, everywhere, Bros Who Close.
Bros Who Close.
All right.